when my marriage broke down and things were really bad, that actually if you just like tell everyone everything there is to know, and then they can't come after you.
Pretty much since Lily Allen first appeared on the music scene, she has been tabloid fodder, but the last few years have been harder than most. Her marriage disintegrated in a pretty spectacular fashion, but what's interesting is how she dealt with it. So she's written both an album and a book that are incredibly raw, like as in she writes about the time that she slept with female prostitutes on tour to deal with loneliness. And so we're here at the Enmore Theatre just before Lily takes the stage to ask why. What is it at this particular point in her career that means she's ready to share that kind of stuff?
Hey Lily, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is Kate.
By the way, I'm Mark.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for talking to us. You're one of these people whom you were written about so much when you were younger. I'm wondering, what does it do to a person to have a constant running commentary, particularly when you were younger?
I think it's interesting actually, and I think it was quite unique and a bit lonely for me because it was internet commentary. I guess like in times past, you know, Blur and Oasis days or whatever, it's like you kind of just there was one kind of noise and you could put it away, and people would say that thing of like, oh, you know, don't read your own press, but that's impossible when you're, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a
completely.
modern, you know, artist. It's just like, well, I mean, how am I going to promote myself without seeing the stuff that comes back?
I'm a URLBATMAN with no empathy. I got a highbrow game plan, and URL bad man.
So if it was like a sort of first era where you had to confront your public image, you know, it was quite negative.
But
for
also,
me in the beginning.
you're working out who you are as well at the same time.
Yeah.
And if you've got a running commentary.
Trying desperately.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then, you know, people telling you who you are when you're trying to figure that out for yourself is a real mindfuck.
You can swear on this show, it's fine.
Okay, great.
Well, the reason I bring it up, because the last thing you say in your book is that I found my voice, and I'm just trying to work out where the arc of that was. Like, where were the moments where you did feel like you'd found your voice?
Well, because I think the nature of the attention that I got was just like quite sort of negative and like, you know, haha, we've got you, you know, and also physically being followed by guys with cameras the whole time. So it did feel like, you know, you were being sort of hunted a little bit. Or the way that I dealt with that would be to get drunk, so that kind of like fed into it. Is like, you know, they're harassing you to the point that you felt like you had to go and get absolutely wasted in order to feel like you're not, you know, under a microscope. And wham bam, they get a picture of you falling out of a cab, and the cycle goes around. Basically, I sort of figured out when my marriage broke down and things were really bad that actually if you just like tell everyone everything there is to know, and then they can't come after you and they can't follow you anymore.
So you own
they're
the
not going to
story.
find anything more sensational because you're like, oh, I was sleeping with prostitutes and all of that, you know. It's like.
So there was no moment of like, how much do I give? How much is just for me and my family?
I think it's
process?
just if somebody asks you a question and it doesn't feel like it's being done for a sort of sensational purpose, then I'll just answer it honestly. And what makes me annoyed is like sitting in an interview and like it just all being like, everything's really great, and so I'm not going to talk about that. That's like the anxiety, like from me, comes from the bullshit.
The bullshit, right.
Yeah.
What's the dumbest question you've ever been asked? Apart from that one I just asked then.
The other day I had an interview where this woman was sort of leading me down a path of like, she wanted to talk about me, you know, getting clean, and there was a point when it was that I got clean, and she sort of like, it was sort of obvious she was going somewhere, and then it was like, and who was it that helped you to get clean, Lily? And it was like, and I was like, no one really. And she was like, wasn't it, you know, Chris Martin? And I was like, I'm not gonna, I know what you're doing, and you want a sort of sensationalist quote about Chris Martin staging an intervention. That annoys me.
That's why I can't hang with the cool gang. Everyone's a trigger, bang, 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 bang. Goodbye, bad bones. I've got bigger plans. Gonna put myself in your hands. That's why I.
I've heard you say that the thing you're most concerned about with your daughters was Instagram. And I was wondering if you could explain why you're concerned about Instagram.
Especially for women, it feels like a place where your value, and let's not, you know, beat around the bush, the goal of Instagram is to get the followers up and to get the likes up, right? Are we agreed on that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's what I'm going for.
So if that's the case, The way to do that for a woman, really, if you look at the people that are performing the most, are people that generally take quite a lot of their clothes off. And let's be honest about that. And I don't know how I feel about that when it comes to my children. You know, people always say, you talk too much on Twitter, and it's like, it's funny that you find it more damaging or annoying that I would be typing out some words and joining in a conversation. Yeah, if I was to post to Instagram 17 times a day,
you wouldn't
nice
care.
Pretty pictures, nobody would give a fuck. So we basically just don't like women making any noise. You just want to look at them.
There was an incident where you were stalked for a period of time and you were quite vocal about the fact that you didn't think the police took it seriously. For somebody that's never experienced that, what does it feel like to be the focal point of that kind of negative attention and then also feel ignored?
Awful and scared. It's a complete mind fuck, We grow up thinking that there are these institutions that are going to protect us, and actually more often than not, they don't work. I had the Grenfell fire in London quite recently. It's like, you call the fire brigade, they come and they rescue you. The government build housing for you that's going to keep you safe. If you get raped or abused or stalked, and the police are going to come and make sure that everything is all right. It doesn't work like that, A lot of these institutions do not work like that for people.
Emerging out the other side, do you have more hope for the future?
Yeah, I think people are talking about these things more than they were, but it's actually, action's what is needed, not words.
Lily Allen,
Thank you.
lovely to meet you.
Nice to
Thanks
meet
so
you.
much.